Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacalyn. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio, your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Hello and welcome to this episode of The Voice of Healing. I am Reverend Lydia Fougere and I welcome you. So today the subject is volunteer work. Why is it so appealing? So I would invite you to subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV and Radio. So on YouTube, and Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck's channel also. She is the owner of this station. So thank you very much and welcome. So this week is volunteer work. What does volunteer work bring to us? Actually, it does bring a lot. This is the most appealing thing that brings to us. Do you really want to understand why it is so interesting to do volunteer work? Do you want to understand why so many people go into volunteer work? Working without being paid. So this is something that you might not understand, but I will describe what is so appealing about volunteer work. Volunteer work is something that actually is so inviting. It is something that actually we cannot do without having fun. Because when we are a volunteer, we actually do not even know how to do our task to start with. So no one can actually start screaming at us because everyone is relaxed, everyone is zen, and that is the nice thing about volunteer work. We are all on the same level. So everyone is in a good mood and we all help one another because without having a pay, we actually are on the same page. Because who does volunteer work? People that do volunteer work usually have a heart of gold. So you will not see someone do volunteer work that is greedy or something like that. Actually, someone that does volunteer work is always a person that is nice, that has altruism, that loves, that is kind also. So this is actually the guarantee that you will be with a group of nice people to start with. And why do you do the volunteer work with such a nice group? Actually, to make yourself happy to start with, but also to help others. That is where you find how gratifying it is. I have been in volunteer work ever since I was 6 years old, when I was in the Brownies. And it is the pleasure of giving to others. I sold cookies. I was president of my school at one point, and I was actually going to get all kinds of things for all kinds of 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 charities. So the thing is that, I walked every year 30 miles that actually paid me off. I was paid every year, and the money that I would actually make from walking 30 miles, I would actually give to send to Africa. And every year, people would ask me, why are you doing this? And I would say, I feel good about doing this. But 30 miles is a long walk, I can tell you. It is approximately 48 kilometers, I would say. So it is a long walk in a day. But every single year, I would do it. There is also that I would some years I would dance for 24 hours. Imagine dancing for 24 hours. You really have to love to dance. So I would dance for 24 hours, and we were more than 50 people that were doing that dancing thing. So we had people that actually were dancing, and we'd find people to were doing this for the money also. So we would actually find so much money that we could find thousands and thousands of dollars every single year. My best years was $4,000 that I had for my school, for the Cancer Society. We actually went and we went from house to house. We did not do anything special. We did not sell anything. We were just going from house to house and asking for money, for a charity, for cancer. And people were giving money. I remember in 1978, someone gave me $150 in 1978. Believe me. And they did not even ask for a receipt for cancer. This is how charitable people are. You have to remember that when you do volunteer work, all kinds of things can happen. You can have someone that screams at you, that is for sure. But be ready. Not everyone is in a good mood when actually you do volunteer work. It is also for personal growth. When you do volunteer work, it helps you with new skills. It strengthens your self-esteem, your self-confidence, and broadens your horizons. This is the way it is. Your social connections get larger. You meet so many people. You cannot go without meeting at least 20 new people in one charity event. So why not do charity work? Why always wait for a pay to do something? Doing something just to feel good is extraordinary. And that is why I do so much charity work. I want to feel good inside. I want to meet new people. I want to help people. And not only that, when we have new connections, we meet those that need us. So outside of the charity work, we make connections with those that need. So it broadens our horizon on what can we do other than that charity we have participated in. We can do something else. We can help someone by doing something else other than the event. We can actually look at how we will help others at a higher level. We can choose a family to help. We can choose an individual that needs more than the charity itself. We can offer to listen to someone because listening is a skill. Sometimes when there is a charity, you have people that need to be helped. They really need to be helped. And what you need is to help them, listen to them, help them grow. Always be there to listen to them, no matter what. The charity that you are doing has nothing to do with listening to them. You can do something else other than being part of their charity. It brings a new meaning to your life also. You contribute to the collective. You do a project. You give to a cause. You have the feeling that you are a positive impact on other people's lives. The echo of giving away is actually the reflection of your own humanity. Who are you as an individual? Do you think that you have it in yourself to give to others? Do you really think that what you are doing with your life is enough? Or do you want to give a sense to your life? Because charity work gives a new sense to your life. It broadens, it helps you, it brings connection, interconnection on the entire planet. Because when you are part of a collective, you actually are able to connect with other countries also. And you have joy. You live joy. I know one thing. I am a person that lives every moment of charity as a moment of grace and of gratitude. I feel useful. I feel my existence is a lot fuller. And it makes me seek a meaning to my life. I have an impact on someone else's life, not only my life, not only my family. I see it as something that is a present that is given to me. Charity work is not something that actually is your benefit, their benefit all the time. Because many times you will benefit more from giving than them from receiving your time. It is a window into reality. It pulls you away from the small problems that you have because you see other people's problems and they are way, way larger than yours, more important than yours. So it pulls you away from your day-to-day life and your daily concerns. It confronts you with a reality check. You see the diversity of human experience, and you find out that your life is not the only thing, the only center of the horizon, you find out that other people are so very important. You find out that when you feel the gratitude of giving, you find yourself a new purpose. You have the pleasure of what we call otherness. It is an act of generosity, but at the same time, it is selfish because you have so much from that act of generosity. Should you feel ashamed of finding so much pleasure in giving your time as a volunteer? No, absolutely not. Because when you actually do give your time to volunteer work, the point is to be happy, to be grateful. And when you are very, very happy, what happens to the others is that they feel they are connected to your happiness. I know Dr. Jacalyn, who is owner of this station. She is like me, she always sings. So what happens is that when you are doing charity work and you are a person that well, sings well, when you're a person that sings, you do your work, you sing, and then all of a sudden, everyone else sings. Everyone is happy, everyone smiles. So you're an inspiration. You really are an inspiration. And it's a fulfillment in your journey when you do that. You are not on a distant land to act as someone important because everyone is on the same level. There is also that you tame chaos. When you are there, you see a lot of chaos. You learn to tame chaos because the problem with chaos is that sometimes we do not know how to get out of it. We do not know how to normalize chaos. But when we see chaos and we go on a voluntary basis where there is chaos, and then we decide to take chaos and make it a victory, we are doing the best of the best. Because we could actually just look at something like that and just say, well, this is chaotic. I am leaving. I cannot deal with this. The thing when you deal with chaos is that you become a stronger person. You overcome obstacles. You fulfill your mission. You find resources for those that do not have any resources. And you get rid of the excess weight that you carry because you see that others carry a lot more than you. So we have expectations for ourselves. We have many expectations for ourselves. But when we do charity work, what happens is that we observe. We can be the silent observers of those that suffer. We are there to help. We are there to listen. Take, for an example, someone that is dying. If you decide to accompany someone that is dying, you have to understand something. You are not there to talk, you are there to listen. When you are accompanying someone that is dying, you sit down and you listen to them, because they have to leave everyone behind, one by one by one. So you listen and you let them talk about each person at their own pace. You listen and you learn from the lesson. Because those that die actually have this kind of peace inside that is difficult to understand, because they have come to that inner peace. I know that there is someone that is going through that stage at this time of my life, only some hours to live, and they have found that peace, that wonderful peace. And I told their family just to be, just to sit and listen, not to talk. That is what I asked of them, not to talk, just be. This is the most important thing. When you do volunteer work, you will be in several situations. I know for a fact that I went to help a family at one point, and there was no cleaning done, and had no cleaning done for weeks. Where did I start? I started by the dishes. That is all. And by doing the dishes, I got them to explain to me how it got to that point. So just by doing the dishes and being silent, I was able to let them understand where it started, how it started, and how it could end. Just by washing dishes and letting them come to their own solution. Just as I was washing dishes and they were looking at me, who was completely there to listen. The only thing sometimes that you can do is just be there. So you do not always have to walk 48 kilometers, 30 miles. You do not always have to walk in the rain to get some money. You do not always have to dance for 24 hours. Those are means, but there are always other means. If you cannot walk, you can listen. You can work in a library for free. There are so many things that you can do. So many things that you have not thought about that can be volunteer work. Why not go in a church basement and sort out clothes? Those clothes are useful. Someone has to sort them out. What you need is to lower your ego. When you lower your ego and understand that you are one out of those billions of humans, what happens is that you can actually work on doing something useful. When you understand you are just sand on a beach, you can go and work for free because you have understood that you can make a difference no matter how small the task. My entire life, I have understood that small chores are the most important chores. That is what I have understood of chores. The smallest ones are the most important. And that is how I came to actually be what I am. I am a person that is open. I am a person that knows how to just be in the present moment. I have learned through hard lessons to just be in the present moment by seeing others suffer. I suffered myself. It is all right because life is a lesson. I compare life to the Olympic Games. You have to become good at your sport to have a gold medal. So I do think that I do have a gold medal. I do think I have a gold medal. I really do think so. We become compassionate. We mostly are born compassionate. But as life goes on, we become even more compassionate. We want to help. We really want to make a difference. We do not necessarily want monuments to honor us. We do not want our names everywhere. What we want is to make a difference. If only it is in one person's life, we do not need to have someone name us. How many times did I do something without the person knowing who I am? Hundreds and hundreds of times. I was a registered nurse. So as a registered nurse, you are a registered nurse your entire life. That is the way it is. When you are a registered nurse, you just do not become a nurse like that because you graduated. A nurse is in the head. Being a nurse is in your head. But being a nurse does not necessarily mean having the diploma as a nurse. How many people have given years of service to their parents? They have volunteered. They took care of their mother, of their father. They do not have a nurse degree, but they gave. They were volunteers. They gave their time. They gave their love. They gave all they could till the end. Were they recognized? Not necessarily. But they know in their heart that they did the right thing. Those are the heroes. Heroes do not wear capes. People do not recognize the heroes without the capes. That is what people do not understand. Every single day, you make a difference. Every single day, if you do an action, just one little action, you are doing some volunteer work. If you take the time to say hello to someone in a store that looks lost, if you give an item to someone that is too small, I know I'm not tall, so I need help sometimes. But the thing is that when you actually look beneath the person, you find the need that they have. You have to look with your heart, not with your eyes. Look with your heart. Start feeling with your heart instead of feeling with your ego. That is how you do volunteer work. You find where you are needed without being asked. Because you do not have to take part in an organization necessarily to be a good volunteer. You just have to be a good human. And then you already are a volunteer. That is the way it is. You see, I have written books that are called 111 Reflections for Thy Earth Odyssey. Those books are reflections of my life and other people's lives. They are reflections from others that talk to me or I listen to. Those books are books that actually come from real life, real situations. They come from there. They come from the heart. And from those books, what I did is that I started some programs. I started some programs to help people grow in their spirituality, but also in their world. I want people to understand that they are here for a purpose. They do not have to have diplomas. They do not have to have university degrees. They do not have to have that. They only have to have a heart and let their ego aside. That is how people grow, by leaving their ego aside. That is the way someone grows. With my programs, what I do is that I help people grow with my programs. And also, I also bring people in sessions one-on-one. They can join me through my Facebook page. They can join me at 1-514-582-6882, because what I do is that I do one-on-one sessions. I am a medium. I do energy healing sessions. I do chakra balancing. I do help a lot with healing. I have a holistic nurse degree, a master Reiki degree also, and a quantum energy instructor degree. I can bring a person that is in need of being understood to meet with their soul with guided imagery also. I have done guided imagery my entire life. I can help someone help someone else. I can teach them to help others. That is the way it goes. Someone has to teach you to help others for you to be helpful. If you want to do volunteer work, you have to have someone that coaches you. You have to have someone that understands you. I am there for you. So if you want to learn, I ask you to join me at greatdivinemother@gmail.com, 1-514-582-6882. And also, I ask you to subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV and Radio, and Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck's channel also on YouTube. So it was a pleasure being with you this week. Next week we will be in French. So namaste to everyone, and it was a pleasure being with you. Goodbye.
Hey, you. Psst. Yes, you. Watching this right now. Are you creating content, a blog, a podcast, a newsletter, going live on Instagram or TikTok, and still not seeing real visibility or growth? Here's why. Anyone can post, anyone can go live, but not everyone is positioned to be taken seriously. Right now, people are going to YouTube to search for experts, for answers, for credibility. So while you're putting in the work, someone else is being seen as the authority. Not because they know more, because they're positioned better. Now imagine this. Your own professionally produced TV show, marketed, distributed, optimized with SEO so people can actually find you. Not just seen, but searchable, discoverable, positioned. You're trained, you're coached, you're guided. No experience necessary, but you do have to be coachable, because this is about stepping into a higher level. This isn't about doing more, it's about doing it right. We've already built the platform, 2 YouTube channels, a global audience, a Silver Creator Award. So the question is, how much longer are you going to rely on temporary visibility when you could be building real authority? If you're ready to be seen differently, go to USAGlobalTV.com and apply to host your own show. This is for individuals who are serious about investing in their visibility, their credibility, and their growth. If that's you, we're ready. USA Global TV and Radio, where your voice becomes your platform. Executive producer, Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. Videographer, Paul Garcia. Voiceover, Ed Vargas. All rights reserved. This production is the exclusive property of the USA Global TV and Radio and may not be reproduced, distributed, or used without written permission.
Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honoured to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at USAGlobalTV.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/USAGlobalTV. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.